Number one team in your rankings, Michigan. They've played half their schedule almost, 6 of their 13 games without their head coach on the sideline. How did that factor into the evaluation of Michigan?
You know, in the room, as we talk about it, so much of it is about player leadership, right? And the young men that are on the program and driving that. Obviously, it hurts not to have your head coach. Sharon Moore came in and did a great job when Coach Harbaugh was not available. But, you know, those players found a way to gather together and continue to keep the mission at heart.
If that isn't one of the most contradictory statements I've ever heard. Florida State loses one of their main guys, you put them out of the playoffs. What a shame. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Coach Walker TV. We're about to talk about how the College Playoff Committee has gotten it wrong with Florida State. Let's jump right into it. So the College Football Playoff Committee has gotten this thing totally wrong. Now, first, I want to start back 10 years ago when they even came out with this whole playoff setup. Yes, it's something that a lot of college football sports fans, including myself, would have liked to see, and we've seen it. But the moment they said it was only going to be 4 teams, I knew right then we was going to have a problem. 4 teams in Power 5 Division I college football is not enough to call it a fair playoff. I mean, you basically just have a Final Four list of your top 4 teams that are going to compete for a playoff. I said from the beginning you would need at least 8. So now, yeah, next year they want to expand to 12. So this whole controversy obviously will go away next year. But from day one, when they implemented this whole college football playoff system, good idea, just the wrong way to do it with only 4 teams. And it was eventually going to be an issue, just like we're finding out for this year in 2023 for these playoff teams. But hey, let's talk about the real issue here. All right, so you have number 1 Michigan, number 2 Washington, number 3 Texas. No issues there. All great teams, all deserve to be there. Then you had this whole thing with Alabama and Georgia, both great teams. Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, so they want to slide Alabama in there. Now here's a couple things I think happened. First of all, you have this SEC team that you have to get in there. I think that's what they feel like. Think about this. If Georgia and Alabama don't make it into the top 4 or one or the other, you have a national championship playoff minus an SEC team. You think the money's going to allow that? I don't think the money's going to allow that to happen, right? And then you're going to end up having Georgia and Alabama play each other again in the bowl game, because it'll probably be ended up 5-6. Alabama, Georgia. The money alone will let it happen. But let's just talk about this Florida State situation, right? So Florida State goes undefeated. They win the ACC championship game. So they win the ACC outright, no issues at all, go undefeated. So you're telling me because they lose their QB1 that all of a sudden they're not good enough to have an opportunity at a national championship when they have literally done everything to earn that opportunity. So what you've done is this. You're telling me that all of a sudden this is not a team game anymore. The thing about football is it's the ultimate team game. And I agree with Booger that was on ESPN earlier today when I was listening to him, and I don't agree with him a lot. But he said it right. There are other ways to win football games than having your quarterback throw 5 touchdowns and score 30 and 40 and 50 points in a college football game. Your defense can win games. Florida State's defense went out there against Louisville and held them to 6 points in the ACC championship game without their starting quarterback. They're down to their 3rd string quarterback, and they still found a way to not only win that game, but to win the game before that without their starting quarterback. So what you're telling me is that you don't care about the team. You don't care about what the coaches are able to accomplish and the adjustments they're able to make to find ways to win football games. You just care about what you think and where the money goes as far as making sure that Florida State is not in this playoff, even though they've done everything like they were supposed to. They made the adjustments that they were supposed to make, and they found a way to still win the football game. It's just amazing to me how that happens. So lastly, y'all, I just think it's a crime and a shame that Florida State did not make this college football playoff Final Four. It is sad. I mean, there's a lot of things you can say about it. I definitely want to hear what y'all have to say about it, but I just feel like you didn't give the players an opportunity to prove themselves. You didn't give the coaches an opportunity to make the adjustments they need to make to give themselves an opportunity to win and have a shot at the national championship. You didn't even give them a shot at it. They did everything they had to do. Yes, Travis Jordan is a great quarterback. Yes, they lose their number one guy, but there's also, 22 other guys, 21 other guys that are going to be on that football field that have to prove why they should belong there. And maybe they're trying to avoid another TCU situation from last year or the other year. Listen, that's got to be thrown out the window. You have to go with what is right. Yes, you say, quote unquote, we want the best teams, but you can't say Florida State isn't one of the best teams. They earned the right to be there despite losing their quarterback. You have to give those other guys an opportunity. So look, y'all let me know what y'all think. Like I said, I think it's a crime. I think it's a shame. Let's have a conversation. And before I let y'all go, remember, please like, subscribe, share my content, comment. Let's get it cracking, man. What y'all think about this college football playoff scam? Peace.